Actually, I'm more nervous doing this than I was for my talk. As mentioned, I met this great man in November of 1992. And it was altogether appropriate that it was in the shadow of the Sphinx when I first saw him. And I looked at him, and I looked at her, and I looked at him. And without offense, it was hard to determine who was older. Or who represented an older wisdom. But what she said to me was, this is the man you have been seeking. This is the tradition you have been searching for. Dr. Abd'el Hakim Awyan is an archaeologist, a chematologist, Egyptologist, with 50 years field experience in his own land. He is an internationally known healer and man of peace, recognized by many keepers of many indigenous traditions as an elder. He is co-author with his magnificent soul partner, Karina Bryan, of the soon-to-be-published book, Egypt and the Awakening, Insights of an Egyptian Adept, to be published by Barron Company, hopefully in the spring of 1999. Put it on your lists. It is the first time an indigenous-born Egyptian is speaking about the ancient ways. Up until now, all the Egyptian Egyptologists have been teaching Egyptology, taught from Western universities. It is the first time you are hearing an indigenous teacher teaching chematology. So without further ado, to waste none of your time, I give you my teacher, my master, my brother, and my friend, Dr. Abd'el Hakim Awyan, were the great and the respected Hakim.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace be with you. I mean, Saman is the name of the village now. Saman is the name of the village where I live. And it's just one of many villages in Abu Sir, Bawizir. And in my childhood, I used to play guard. This was the ruins around the Sphinx and the pyramids. Excavation was done by Dr. Reisner. I was 7 years old. And the favorite place I used to play is in this area, where I can swim in the tunnels below the Sphinx and play and stare on the walls. Want to know what's written up there by the ancient Sufi language, which is today known as hieroglyphics. Suf, that's the name of the language we used to speak, and it's still there, still alive. If I want to speak about Khemet, or the Black Land, I may describe, starts from the third cataract in the south, in Cretan islands and the Mediterranean. And that is considered by the historian that the oldest empire in history. As you know, the Nile, or the Nir, ended with R. If you take the first chapter of Nairobi, Nir, that's the name of the river. And the river you see today, it's not the oldest, but there are other beds of the river. I'm coming here to speak about the Khemet and the pyramids, as I've been told. And I want to say that the pyramid is a Greek name. The meaning is what stands on the horizon. But as my friend says that there are a lot of names, perimeter is the pyramid you're seeking to know about. There are per neter, per ba, that's the house of spirit, per ka, and that's the tombs, and per a, and that's the place of the woman ruler. Per a, which is the Greeks break it down into pharaoh, Pharaoh. To go to the mythology at the side, which is matriarch, we consider that the sky is the woman Nut in the day and Mut at night. The earth was Jib, and he is the earth god, God. I may draw here the Egyptian vision. This is Jib. This is Nut. Nut's supposed to be a woman. These are the hands, the head, the breast, the legs. This is East. It's the birth channel. First stage of the sun. It's known as sun birth, pronounced Sarah. Sa-Ra, the birth of Ra. First stage, and it was symbolized in the form of Khipper, the scarab. Why? Because the scarab is hermaphrodite insect, and you can't address it as boy or a girl. It's just a child. And that is the first stage of the day, the morning stage. When the Khipper make the journey and come with the woman's navel, that's Ra, R-A. Can you see? R-A, okay? And Ra, by the Khemetians, is a ram, ram-headed god, human figure, but ram-headed. Why? Because ram is stubborn.
If I move this a little bit this way, we could get in the light.
Fine. Thank you. Can you see now?
Talk louder.
I will talk loud if you like. Yeah, that's Ra stage. Second stage. Now, third stage, below the breast, is Un, the wise, the one not anymore stubborn, but the one who gives a second thought. The fourth stage is Etten, the wiser, three beams of light. And Etten is the name you know today through the Biblical, through the Old Testament Bible, is Aton, Aton, or Adon, Adonai. That's how we call it today. The last stage, or the fifth stage, when the son swallowed by the mother to continue the cycle, and that's Amen. Amen. Amen means, you can call it Amen, Amun, Amen, the same thing. and means the veiled, the hidden. Yeah? So 5 stages makes the famous the star. Jib is the man. So you have 5 different stages, and this is the 5 stages of the sun, which makes the day. When the sun is swallowed by Nut, she's not anymore Nut, she is Mut. Mut, that's woman goddess, and maybe the Greeks have used the same name with a different way of pronouncing. Mort, heaven, the morto. Yeah. So these are the 5 stages of the sun, with the basis of the Egyptian mythology. In Amun stage, where the Hanut begin to take care of what we call the death. We have no word the death in our language. We have westing, that he's heading to the west. There's no word the death. Of course, the word death is the duality to word life. So life and death is duality for being, or for this life and the other life. In Egyptian mastabas, we have the texts in the late period written by the Hanut to describe what you see in the other life. And we know that to be prepared for other life, you have to pay part of the harvest. We know that the river flood once a year, so that means 1 crop a year. Almost half of this crop goes to the temple as an advance price for a decent burial, to be able to be resurrected. Resurrection is the base of the other life in there. Got that? So, Khipr, Ra, Un, Aten, Amun. 5 stages. And the life in Egypt is on agriculture. In Khemet, that's, you explain, the word Egypt is Het Kapta, and the Greeks use the Hegyptos. But in the ancient time, the word Kemt still used, and Perneter is the word for the pyramid. So Per is the word house. On the text of the walls of the mastabas, you see the promises of the resurrection. How you're going to do the dark journey into the resurrection, and whom you want to be introduced to, and that's Anubis. Anub is a jackal. To speak about the jackal, take you back where the tomb has a primitive form, like an egg shape, not very deep underground, covered with 3 leaves. And that was easy for such animal to break into the this tomb and damage the inside. So fear is from that animal, the jackal, Anub. When man knows how to make bricks and deal with a stone, then the tomb took a strong form, and the jackal cannot break into the stone. And that's why the word birth or rebirth is